Hey Deckers, it's Liam here. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about BattleBit Remastered, as it's currently absolutely smashing the charts on Steam. And for people who've been after a Battlefield-like game done right, this tiny 3-person team has managed to create something pretty amazing. It's been sitting around 80,000 people playing it daily on Steam at the same time, so it's clearly popular, and it seems it's staying popular because it can run on pretty much a potato. Even with the high settings preset on Steam Deck, it's giving really smooth gameplay where it mostly sticks to around 60 frames a second, apart from a few blips here and there in certain areas. It even works fine over Wi-Fi on Steam Deck with absolutely no problems on the high preset, giving it around at least 2 hours of full play. Controller support is an issue though, it's not really there properly, so you will want to set up a Steam input configuration for it, although I'll just recommend going with this community build named Proper Controller R6 plus COD Feel. And to get you going, that does work well enough, but you'll probably still need to tweak some of the sensitivity and perhaps the gyro as well. Another good thing is that it works completely out of the box with Proton 7 on Steam Deck and Linux Desktop. You just need to ensure you have the Proton Easy Anti-Cheat runtime installed, which you can just search for directly in your Steam library, as it may not be done automatically as it hasn't gone through Steam Deck verification as of yet. One of the reasons I'm covering it though is not just that it works, and it is kind of awesome with 254 players per server for the main game mode, which is absolute madness, but I've seen some other creators covering it, and to be blunt, they're not giving you any info on a potential big issue coming up, and that bugged me when looking at it. The problem here is the AntiCheat. Now, currently it uses Easy Anti-Cheat, which does support Linux for the Steam Deck's SteamOS operating system. However, they did have plans to swap it over to something called Faceit, which does not support Linux, which would mean it would just break and stop working. Now, this is a repeating problem for online multiplayer games on Steam Deck, especially for those where the developer has not announced any support for and no Steam Deck verification has been done, like in this case. These plans were actually public for quite a while, since early June, so other creators putting up videos telling you how great it is and not mentioning this at all are just not doing their homework. Now, to be clear, I don't want to beat down on other creators. That is absolutely not my point. It's just that a few select others doing Steam Deck videos have repeatedly covered online multiplayer games that do keep breaking, with no word from the developers. So it's just a reminder to be careful on what you buy for online games. Thankfully, well, sort of, the developers' plans have somewhat changed on this in the last week or so, but you still need to be wary about picking it up for Steam Deck or Linux Desktop if this is where you plan to play. So they're now saying on Steam that they won't be going for Faceit, as it was overkill for the main game outside of esports. However, they are looking to still move away from Easy Anti-Cheat towards something more in the middle. This will no doubt again cause problems, because most custom anti-cheat simply doesn't support Linux. Only a few actually do, like Easy Anti-Cheat and BattleBit. Now, to make matters even more confusing, I actually emailed the developers directly, and they did reply to me today, and they said, despite having intentions to switch to Faceit, we will keep EAC, Easy Anti-Cheat, as an option and still have servers that support EAC. So going by what the developer said in the email to me, they are still going to switch to Faceit. So really, it seems like they don't quite know what they're actually doing, which makes it all that more concerning for playing it on Steam Deck and Linux Desktop. If they do keep some EAC servers online, as the developer suggests, it might not be such a huge issue, but that remains to be seen. We don't really know what they're actually going to do. And if only a few servers have EAC, you might not be able to get in, or you might find nobody is playing on them. There's a lot of uncertainty there. So while it works, and others have shown it works, and others have talked about how cool it is, and they are absolutely right on that, it is a very cool game, any future update while it's in early access like this might entirely stop it working when they change the anti-cheat. So this is a problem with recommending it, that I just thought you should be aware of. It will be a shame if it does stop working, because I absolutely get the pull towards it. It is basically a low poly battlefield that is cheap enough and has tens of thousands of players, so getting into games is really easy. Most of my time has just been spent running and dying though, because I can't get the gyro to work how I want it in this game no matter what I try. So no doubt you'll also need to experiment with Steam input a fair bit if you do decide to get it. So to be clear, for now it works, and it works great, it performs well, but you really need to keep in mind it does have a high chance of breaking in future. I just wanted to ensure you're fully informed, because it is the current big new thing, and it is really fun, but buy it at your own risk. That's it for now. I just wanted to ensure the word got out on that, because I've actually had quite a few emails about people notifying me of this as well. But that's it for now. I'll see you later.